Guys, welcome back to welcome back to RFK Weekly. Guys, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every week by reminding you to check out Caddyshack of Hamel, Illinois. CATTYSHACKIL.org. Save a life or 9. I have a song called Relics I was just listening to in the car this morning after dropping the baby off with Granny, and it still sounds really good. I figured out how to turn on lossless quality on Spotify, and I went back and forth between Spotify and iTunes, and here's the thing. Jacob V doesn't have as many songs out as, say, a No Antics or a Blinded by Stereo, per se. However, it's nothing but hit. Those other guys, there's filler, there's album tracks, B-sides,
hits,
fan favorites. Jacob V on all your music platforms is nothing but hits, and I stand by it.
Some say the greatest hits.
It's going to be the best of, and exclusively. But Blinded by Stereo has a new vinyl 10-inch that is absolutely beautiful. Actually, nothing but hit on that one either, because it's an EP. We said, how about those other 6 songs that we might do? How about no? How about just the good ones?
Yeah.
And my personal favorite is Midnight. We talked about that. But Ask a Punk is the EP, and you get it on vinyl. It's on all your platforms. The title track is beautiful. Lots of good there. No Antics has a new song coming out, and I think Nick is doing a lot of the vocal, maybe, and I'm excited to hear that. So I also love my local friends in Kirkos. I'm hoping to see them soon. They're doing a residency at Pop's Blue Moon, where they're going to be there every Wednesday or a certain Wednesday of the month or something.
Cool.
So Kirkos, Kirkos. I'm also in a band called Kits Row.
Otherwise known as Litz Row.
Litz Row if you're typing while driving and smoking weed and eating a taco, and which is what happens. And and people wonder, why is there taco cheese all over your car? I have no idea. I don't know how that happened. I need to get one of those dash cams pointed in.
Yeah.
So people, we could live stream that. If you want to join the patreon.com/JacobV, I could use those funds for a dash cam. Patreon.com/JacobV. Blinded by Stereo's shows all go on there, exclusive. Some of them for free members and paid members, and some of them are just for paid members. I have more in-depth stuff on patreon.com/JacobV that is full concert footage that I shoot and edit and everything myself. One of my favorites is with Kirkos from last year. I did their Winter Circus. That ended up being 3.5 hours long because I did so many of all the band's sets over 2 days. There's some great No Antics stuff on there. Patreon.com/JacobV. Prince's Around the World in a Day just really released as a remaster for the very first time. There's tons of new content in there. It sounds better than ever. That was the album that had Raspberry Beret on it. It was the immediate follow-up to Purple Rain, and it didn't necessarily sell as well, but it's a great album. Every inch of it is beautiful. It's exactly what happened after Purple Rain. So if you like Purple Rain, the same people that made that made another album immediately after. It includes the hit single Raspberry Beret, and it just got a remaster. It's out now. America is on that one. America, America. The Prince song that samples that, or alludes to that. And then Temptation is the last track. It's 9 minutes. It's one of my all-time favorite Prince songs. Also yesterday, a very expensive movie came out on Amazon Prime called The Age of Disclosure. I've been waiting for it all year. It's a documentary with a lot of the A-list insiders of the work adjacent to the UAP UFO recovery, retrieval, reverse engineering program that we've been learning about for the last 8 years. And it's very, very good. It's absolutely worth the price of admission, especially if you let your mom use your Amazon and maybe you're broke the day it comes out, and so you use your mom's debit card to buy the $25 film, which is what I'm hearing some people have done. And it includes Lou Elizondo, who you've seen a lot doing the podcast circuit for the last couple of years, Jay Stratton, Navy intelligence insider, talks a lot about David Grush, a lot of these UFO, UAP whistleblower types. It's not necessarily as groundbreaking, I don't think, as some of James Fox's work, because James Fox has first-person sources that can actually talk about stuff. Like if you're a retired doctor from South America somewhere, you're not under an NDA and the government's not going to shoot you in the face, which is the case for some of these people in the age of disclosure. But I definitely don't regret watching it or buying it. I'm probably going to watch it again. It's 2 hours long. The director has been doing all the circuits lately. So that's the stuff I've been listening to and watching this week.
Wicked is out for good.
Wicked is out for good.
I remember leaving Wicked last year and being like, I have to wait a whole nother year, and it's here. And I don't usually go. I'm not a first weekender of movies unless I guess I really like it, but I haven't in a while, so I'm not that person. So I'm probably going to see it week 3, maybe week 4.
Yeah, since COVID, I really haven't rebuilt my relationship with movie theaters. I've been, but before COVID, when we could do the dine-in theater, we were doing a lot of that.
Oh yeah,
and so now I actually prefer something like The Age of Disclosure. You put it out, and if I want to see it immediately, I pay full price for it. That I don't mind, because it's still way cheaper than taking my wife to a movie.
Yeah,
especially dine-in.
My
the two
wife.
of us, my wife. So, yeah, Wicked. The play was new when we were in high school.
It's 2005, 2000, maybe just 2000.
It was
it's
hot.
Early
then.
2000s.
The earliest Wicked content was 2005, and so it's at the time. I don't know that I loved it. I definitely liked some of the songs. I definitely liked the idea. I just didn't necessarily like some of the people I knew that liked it at the time.
2003.
But now
opened.
it's been the right amount of time that, it's exciting and tasteful enough. It's not doing to Wizard of Oz what Disney did to Star Wars, where it's oversaturated and unnecessary.
Yeah.
So
it's a different lens.
Yeah. So that's the feature film.
Yes.
It's just now out.
No, it's the second half. It's
part 2.
Yeah, because the intermission is Defying Gravity. Typically, when you see it on Broadway, like in theaters.
Yeah. And so the theatrical release was split. I didn't realize it was split into 2 parts.
Yes, that was the gag. Is that like?
But you didn't necessarily know that was going to happen when you saw the first one until you saw the end of it and realized, wait, they stopped halfway through.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm really.
But that was my first time ever seeing Wicked in general.
Oh, okay, good.
Like,
so you're not burnt out on it. You don't have all that.
No,
that stuff.
I knew about it back, back in the day, but I've never seen it on Broadway or in theaters at the Fox or anything. So this is my first real watch of it.
You know what I'm really, really excited about?
What?
Wuthering Heights.
What? Wuthering?
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. What's that one?
So we haven't talked about this?
I'm gonna look it up. See.
Wuthering Heights was a book by Emily Bronte. She was the sister of a more famous author named something Bronte, and she wrote Wuthering Heights in secret. It's a classic romance novel from like the 1800s. I read it in high school in an AP literature course. It's like my favorite book. And then Kate Bush has the song Wuthering Heights, which is about that book. And then coming out Valentine's Day is a new adaptation for film.
Yeah, with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi.
Elordi, that's his name. I was right on the tip of my tip. And and so great love story, classic work of literature, a beautiful. It's like a corpse flower. If you look at, if you are a fan of literature and you look at an author as a plant, right? Emily Bronte is the corpse flower, where it blooms once and only once for a very short time. And for her, she did most of that growth and work in secret. I don't even know how you write a whole book in secret, but that's the legend.
Yeah.
I mean,
back in those days,
wouldn't you ask her, like, what are you writing? What is all this shit? Well, you got stacks of paper.
Yeah, somebody walks into her room and she's just shuffling a bunch of papers. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like,
what are you doing?
What is all this?
Yeah.
Who is Heathcliff?
Trying to write underneath the table while you're at dinner?
Yeah, and typically I don't have much of a tolerance for anything English. But this is
it originally came out in 1847.
1847?
November 24th in 1847 in the UK.
Yeah. And absolutely beautiful work of art, and the film actually looks really good. And I'm hoping that is the case. Somebody's doing the soundtrack. Somebody famous. Maybe, is it Charlie XCX? Did songs for it or something?
That'd
but
be sick.
That's coming.
For Wuthering Heights?
Yeah.
You're talking about the soundtrack of the movie?
I think so.
Okay. You can continue and I'll...
Because I think she has an album coming out the same day as the movie called the same thing. That has to be the same. It has to be on purpose. But Wuthering Heights is going to be really nice. Locally, we gotta jump right into headlines here.
Yes. What? It is Charlie XCX.
I knew it. I'm telling you, it's going to be a transformative. This is what you should do. If you don't know anything I just talked about Wuthering Heights or Emily Bronte, you should read it or listen to it on audiobook before the movie comes out on Valentine's Day. And you should book tickets to take your loved one to see it, because it's going to be maybe the sexiest version of one of the sexiest classic novels of all time. And it's got new songs by Charlie XCX.
Which is, I mean, it seems like...
The story is about this girl and her family.
I'm interested to see what the sound of Charlie XCX's soundtrack is going to be.
With a classic literature. Yeah, it's because it's a period piece. It's set in the time of the time. It's, hundreds of years ago. And there's a rural family who I feel like they adopt like a gypsy boy. Which I would never call him that, but I think that's the concept.
That's what they would...
They adopt a darker skinned boy, I think. And he grows up with them, and I think there's 2 properties in the story they go back and forth between, so it's like neighbors, right? Of these big manors. And this girl loves this boy, but then they're separate for a long time. And then he comes back when they're adults, and he's rich now, and he wasn't before. But then she gets sick or something, and it's a really great story. I'm genuinely, people that know me know this is my favorite book, right? We've talked about it. I've written papers about it. And in college, I did a whole project on it with the Kate Bush song, which is also good. And it's such a weird... The Kate Bush song is really weird. It's in a weird time signature. It's moving keys all the time. And it was also like her first single, and she wrote it when she was a very young woman, Kate Bush did. And it's all about this book that Charlie XCX is doing the soundtrack for the film, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's been confirmed.
Yeah, it's been confirmed. Locally, the sheriff of St. Louis City has been having a really rough time ever since he got elected. Been accused of not doing his job, misappropriating funds, and he is on trial to be removed from office, which is necessary because he's an elected official technically, but it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. One of the things that he was accused of creating a problem with is the sheriff's office role of transporting prisoners from holding to court for court dates. Well, it turns out his trial was delayed because he failed to appear in court on his first court date, though he was in custody.
What?
So the St. Louis City Sheriff is in custody for all sorts of things. And one of the things that people are saying made him not a good sheriff was his inability to get inmates to show up for court dates on time. And then while he's in custody pending trial for that whole thing, his trial is delayed because he missed his court date, even though he was himself in custody.
In custody.
Apparently he's illegally detained his own employees. He bought like a brand new Suburban or something that they didn't really have the money for, and all kinds of problems. So I have no reason to side with this guy, but it's kind of funny that he's saying we don't have the staffing or the logistics to get inmates to all of their court dates on time, and then they arrest him for that, and then he can't get to his court date.
Yeah.
Classic. Maybe I should run for sheriff.
Ooh.
Can I be sheriff?
Yeah. What are the prerequisites?
That's the thing I don't really know. Sound off in the comments. Can I be sheriff? Aldi's security guard shoots man inside St. Louis store. According to police, the man was a known shoplifter at the store and had been banned. When he entered the store on Wednesday, security asked him to leave, but the man shouted threats and pulled at something in his waistband. The 49-year-old security guard said that when the man raised his arm from his waistband, he shot him. Makes sense to me. The man was taken to the hospital in critical but stable condition. Officers said they found a knife on him. The security guard's gun was seized. I hope the security guard was supposed to have that gun. Number one. Number two, I don't like Aldi.
You don't?
Because when I was a kid, my mom used to take us to this exact Aldi where this man was just shot.
Which one?
Gravois. I think it was Gravois, just past Kings Highway. And when I was a kid, Aldi was not cool and sexy. It wasn't like...
No.
It wasn't like the cousin of Trader Joe. We didn't have a Trader Joe yet. And it was really... And it was like, we're so poor, we can't even have a full-size grocery store. We're at Aldi. It's the size of a Payless. There's 3 aisles. I don't recognize the names of any of these items from TV. And so it just was nothing but negative to me. I don't remember any of the food being particularly bad. It's just not enjoyable.
Yeah.
As a kid in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because in the 90s, we also had Shop and Save.
Yeah.
Which was a full-size grocery store. The more you shop, the more you save. And it was more cost competitive than Schnucks or certainly Deerberg's.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Locally. Right?
Yeah.
Hold on. We got to talk to our West Coast audience. If you take the 105 to Ralph's, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But they're not going to know. You know Aldi, though. And I don't like Aldi. You think Aldi's cool now? I don't like it.
Yeah.
Now, but this is the exact store where this man was just shot. He's expected to survive. He better not go back to that Aldi. I bet he shows back up.
Yeah. That's the
problem.
Issues. Yeah.
In Manchester, Missouri, people at a Manchester apartment complex are worried after a video of an apparent peeping Tom was posted on the Nextdoor app. That close to the window, quote, absolutely nauseates me, Melinda de Blasi said while watching a security video of a man peering through her young grandchild's window. Her daughter and grandchild live at Pebble Point Apartments in Manchester. So, Nextdoor app is really good for this. Anytime anyone sees anything, they assume it's the worst possible thing and they tell everybody about it, right? However, in this case, you should not be standing outside someone's window.
No.
Now everyone's got cameras. I have new security cameras here at the house.
Nice.
Don't get caught.
So did they catch him, or it was just
They haven't caught him. He's been spotted. They're trying to identify him. The last I saw, he wasn't necessarily doing anything in the video other than being really close to the window when the people inside didn't know he was there.
Yeah.
Which is wrong. You should not do that. It scares people. It's a great way to get shot in the face.
Yeah.
In the great state of Missouri, people don't even have to tell you that they have guns or which guns they are. And I don't know that the Jefferson City crowd is going to be very sympathetic to you if you get shot in the face for standing outside a little girl's window. California, maybe you could try that. Maybe they'd arrest that person if they shot you in the face. But around here, and I'm not even saying I'm for this, I'm just saying, imagine the lawlessness of the great state of Missouri. Don't get too close to somebody's window. Be safe. Am I wrong?
No.
You're going to tell me that I'm wrong? She came down in a bubble, Doug. Okay, I'm warmed up. So we have to get into the real news of the day. Since last time you saw us, tens of thousands of emails have been released from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Subpoenas for the Epstein files, they call them, meaning the Epstein evidence collected by mostly the FBI, probably also the CIA, has still been ongoing. Trump has signed a bill into law that calls for the release of the Epstein files. But in the meantime, lawyers and investigators subpoenaed the estate of one late Jeff Epstein and were able to release about 20,000 emails initially. It could be up to 30,000 by now. In 2018, one of these emails explains, Mark Epstein told his brother to ask Steve Bannon, then a close advisor to President Donald Trump, whether Russian President Vladimir Putin had photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Mm-hmm. The only thing I responded to, because people got crazy with the Bubba reference to try to pin it on Clinton, so I made the public statement that it was not any reference to Bill Clinton. I like Bill Clinton, he continued. I was sorry for him that he had to go through that, but the email had nothing to do with Clinton. That's my last word on that email. That's Mark Epstein responding. But in between the time that email came out and when Mark Epstein told Cuomo that on News Nation, we got a lovely weekend of content of people imagining the circumstances of Donald Trump fellatiating one William Clinton. Clinton was not his original last name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a brother, or like a half brother, or like a step brother or something, and he changed his name to Clinton, which was his brother's actual last name, so that they'd be brothers. His name was something more presidential, like Jefferson or Franklin or something.
Oh, interesting.
Here's one of the takes I saw. Bill Clinton is a smooth dude. He's never spent a day in custody since leaving office.
He's a saxophone player, of course.
He's a saxophone player. He wears a size 14 shoe. Smooth guy. Spends $100 on his hair. I mean, smooth guy. Trump does not like to be, what's the word? Shown up, downplayed, underestimated.
Big timed?
He doesn't like to be big timed. I don't know if that's true. So, one person suggested that maybe in a friendly exchange, Bill Clinton accused Donald Trump of not being able to satisfy him orally in a hypothetical sense. And that perhaps that led to this behavior in not necessarily a sexual romantic way, but more of a sexual competitive athletic way. And for y'all's sake, I hope that's the case, because that would be much more exciting than some of the other stuff that's come forth. For example, Mark Epstein has confirmed, at least officially, whether it's the truth or not, his official statement is that Bubba in the email is not a reference to Bill Clinton. However, he left it at that. He didn't say Donald Clump. Donald Clump. He never said Donald Trump never blew anybody.
That's true.
Or anything. Because we've discovered Ghislaine may have owned a horse named Bubba.
Yikes.
And so I've been spending the week thinking, which is worse? Let's say Donald Trump blew something. And let's say blue means fellatio. And let's then assume it's got to be one or the other. Bubba, the president, or Bubba, the horse. Which is worse?
Which is worse? Bubba the horse.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Some people disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
However, no one is spending any time on the fact that the email accuses Vladimir Putin of the one being in custody of that footage.
Well, it's all about blackmail, is it not? Is it not? Like, Is it not?
So, yeah, but you would think that'd be the thing people were upset about. People are more upset about, is any of this real? Is it, the emails are also really hard to decode because these people were older. Okay, and not necessarily the best at digital word processing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I think that it is more likely to be the horse because they're saying exactly what it is. They're not using. I don't think they would be using like a nickname, like.
Yeah, that's true. Because he said, that could be a radical assumption.
Yeah.
Bubba could really be a horse because that's the horse's only name. Whereas William Clinton, Bill
Clinton. Did people call him Bubba, or were we just assuming?
No, people have referred to him as Bubba. That is an affectionate nickname. But I don't know that we have other evidence of Mark and Jeff calling him Bubba.
Yeah.
These are...
like, did he sign his name on the plane as Bubba?
I don't even think so.
Yeah.
And people can't get past the implication that Trump fellatiated Bill Clinton to the point where they're not even worried about, wait, why does Vladimir Putin have that? You know what I mean? And Steve Bannon is messy. Sloppy Steve, Trump called him.
I know that it kind of rustled up some MAGA people.
Well, and this is the thing. My notes here indicate these updates as I've been getting them related to the story.
It's splintered the MAGA movement.
It's definitely splintered right now. We're going to get some more on that in just a minute. Mark Epstein, Jeffrey definitely had dirt on Trump, end quote. So Mark is saying, yeah, Jeff definitely had dirt on Trump, whether that's conversational, I saw him do this, I know he's done this, or actual hard blackmail evidence, right?
Yeah.
My first reaction also, rich people are gross. The more we learn about this stuff, these people are godless animals. And the more powerful you get, I guess, the more you think you are a god of some kind. And so the decadence and the reckless, inappropriate, unnecessary behavior, so much of this sexual behavior they talk about in these stories about this issue, it's become its own issue, really. It's not even just one story. Is just like decadent depravity, just kind of for the sake thereof. In this time, the House almost entirely unanimously passed a Epstein Files release bill that then immediately traveled through the Senate and was signed by Donald Trump this week. The night before the House vote, he said, go ahead and release the Epstein files. He did a giant, what they're referring to as a reversal in the media, but in the White House, they're saying this is not a reversal. We want justice. I feel like I'm being gaslit a little bit there. Trump also named some people that he thought should be investigated, and it's really the heat is cranking up for these people. So the release of these emails has definitely coincided with an increase in pressure and productivity on the release of and transparency of this issue. Larry Summers, who was the Treasury Secretary under Bill Clinton, said Monday that he'll be stepping back from public commitments following recent publication of his correspondence with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Larry Summers was a professor at Harvard, maybe the president even, and is taking a big step back because it's been revealed that at the very least, he was communicating via email with Jeffrey Epstein very affectionately and frequently, even after Epstein's final arrest. Or maybe not final arrest, but it was known Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted predator, right, is the word I'll use. And Larry Summers kept emailing him like they were best friends, in a way that also insinuates that they were previously friends for a lot longer than just we have evidence of. Larry says, I'm deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain they have caused. I take full responsibility for my misguided decision to continue communicating with Mr. Epstein. Also, then the top Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee issued a report on Thursday calling for an investigation into whether J.P. Morgan Chase deliberately underreported more than $1 billion in suspicious transactions by Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier and convicted sex offender. The report from the Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon said the compliance failures by the nation's largest bank during its nearly 15-year relationship with Mr. Epstein were alarming and impeded law enforcement's ability to examine the financial infrastructure that enabled Epstein's cross-border trafficking organization. In light of all of this, MTG has decided to resign Congress effective in January. She's not going to stay her full term in Congress because she's
really.
I had a huge. This just came out last night. I was at dinner, and this is breaking news. I'm just hearing this now.
Okay, let's go over to our correspondent.
Yeah. Lucius, thank you. Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning Congress effective in January. She released a large digital video statement explaining her frustration with the shutdown that lasted 8 weeks of the government, the constant back and forth and stonewalling of the DOJ and the FBI and the White House on this issue of Epstein, and I'm sure she's making way to run for higher office is actually what's happening.
Oh, really? Because you can't run while you're still in office?
Well,
somewhere?
or she just may not want to, right? And I'm sure she doesn't want to be around all these people anymore. It's because it's been such a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, in the course of a week since you last saw us, 20,000 new emails. All of a sudden, we get an Epstein Files release bill. The government shutdown ends. The Senate passes the bill immediately. Trump even signed it. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
We know the FBI has been working since September with thousands of employees working on redacting files to make them fit for release. Some of that is absolutely necessary, I'm sure. A lot of that, I'm sure, is to protect people that still have influence therein. Also, Trump met with Zoran Mamdani yesterday in the White House and seemed to really like him afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's possible that it kind of reminded me of the time Joe Biden held up the Trump 24 t-shirt. Somebody handed Joe Biden a Trump 2024 t-shirt. And he held it up and smiled and laughed about it when Kamala was then running. It kind of reminds me of that. It kind of seems like Donald Trump's like, oh, I like this kid with this beard. I'm probably going to prison. Everything's terrible. They're probably going to deactivate Trump, and take him. I don't know that he's going to stay in office once all of this stuff comes out. It just seems impossible, even though a lot of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein have said Donald Trump never abused them and blah, blah, blah. We also saw in the emails, Trump explained... in the emails, Jeffrey explained that Trump definitely knew about the girls. Trump spent hours at Jeffrey Epstein's New York home with one of the victims. I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were talking about her memoir that she wanted to write.
Maybe.
I fucking hope so. Last time I saw you, I think we talked about Prince Andrew's been stripped of all his titles. So things are finally happening. And I don't know that we could... celebrate with all the frustration and everything we've lost and all the damage we know that's been done, but I certainly hope some people feel vindicated that some of these giants that have been speculated to be predators this whole time are finally being revealed. I don't know that true justice is possible in this case. Prince Andrew's not living on the street. He's just not called Prince Andrew anymore.
Yeah.
He did have to move to a private estate, not the more publicly funded one or whatever. But it's also not nothing that's happened, because it's like the first time that's ever happened where they've stripped a prince of all of his titles like that.
Yeah. God, there was another celebrity that just said that he was homeless. Kevin Spacey. Have you seen this? That he's said that he is homeless, but he's really just living in hotels.
Homeless by choice.
Homeless. Well, I think his house got foreclosed on.
Then how can you afford the hotels?
I don't know. I really don't know.
It must have been an expensive house.
But, I don't know if he's convicted or not, but the accusations have definitely done a number on him. Where he was like, I just need...
At least one of his victims was killed.
Yes. That's a little suspicious there. I'd like to see a little bit deeper dive on that.
We talked about this when it happened, maybe. That Kevin Spacey's thing was he got accused of, forcing himself on or groping teenage boys, some adjacent to the industry and some not, but that he used the opportunity to come out and say, listen, you're going to hear a lot of stories about me. The truth is I choose to live my life as a gay man. Like, that was his explanation. Was, you guys didn't know, but I'm actually gay. And that was the thing he wanted to talk about. Not, I never touched anybody like that, or I didn't do any of that. It was like, listen, I'm gay.
Gay?
Okay. Is that it? Is that all you got? Kevin. He's a problem. And that it totally makes sense to me. I mean, it doesn't surprise me when rich people are gross.
Yeah.
Not me. So, some people are a little short-sighted and they're celebrating MTG resigning because she's been kind of obnoxious for kind of a long time. But it probably means she's running for either Senate, which means you're going to have to listen to a lot more of her, or something higher. I don't know what that could be, but
Yeah.
In related news, genetic research has revealed that perhaps I almost said Marjorie Taylor Greene. Perhaps Jeffrey Epstein suffered from a similar condition to something we've learned about one Adolf Hitler. They have misshapen, malformed, tiny penises.
Micro penises. Egg dick, I think is what they call Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, but I think it's the same condition that causes both of those things, the same genetic marker. Here we go. Bombshell Hitler DNA reveals micro penis and one testicle. A Channel 4 documentary will speak to scientists and experts who have analyzed the dictator's DNA and discovered that he may also have had autism and ADHD.
Yeah, and you talking about Hitler?
Yeah.
Might have had autism and ADHD. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which they wouldn't have necessarily called that at the time. A sample of Hitler's DNA for an upcoming Channel 4 two-part documentary. The team obtained a sample of the dictator's blood from a piece of material taken from the sofa on which he shot himself. When they compared it with a DNA sample of a known relative of Hitler, the scientific team, led by Professor Turi King, were able to confirm a match and then sequence Adolf Hitler's genome for the very first time. Analysis then showed that the German dictator suffered from a form of Kallmann syndrome, Kallmann, Kallmann syndrome, which in males often results in low testosterone, undescended testicles, and can result in micropenis.
Yeah. I guess that would drive a man crazy.
Or he was already crazy. Or he had a disabled cousin that he shot and pretended was himself. Those are the other things possible.
Interesting.
But, and maybe this is part of the PR move of the era, but Jeffrey Epstein's alleged egg-shaped member has been connected to Kallmann syndrome in this case. Some articles I'm seeing reporting on that exact news are talking about could be shared between the two of them. So, great. Love that.
Love that.
And that news came out the same day those emails came out.
Yeah. But, like, let's not, like, I don't know. It's complicated because I don't want to, like, shame a micro penis, you know? Because it's...
Oh, a micro penis is not going to turn you into Hitler.
Of course not.
I mean, people come in all shapes and sizes, and that's on both ends. You know what I mean?
This is just a feature of this monster.
This is just new DNA evidence that's being suggested. It's just in the news right now, right? I didn't mean to insinuate that Kallmann syndrome could turn you into Hitler or even Epstein.
Yeah.
But we would call those comorbidities. Certainly didn't help. Would Hitler have been totally normal with a strong normal penis? Probably not.
Who's to say?
But who's to say? Federal court blocks Texas Republican-friendly congressional map. There's been a war of gerrymandering happening in states that kind of have the authority to do that, right? So Texas decided they were going to gerrymander again, which is the act of redrawing district lines for voting, and in an attempt to solidify Republican leads in the state of Texas. California has then responded by doing the same thing on the other end of the aisle, redistricting in a way that favors Democrats and probably even progressives in that case. I don't know how effective this is going to be, but a judge in Texas has ruled that that's not okay. Especially the way they did it, they've revealed racial and economic bias in a way that we have laws about that. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
And but in this administration, it seems like a judge can say one thing and people could listen to that judge, or people could just kind of keep doing whatever they're doing. So it's only going to make elections messier, which is not a good idea.
No.
Because there are at least a small number of people wearing Trump 2028 shit unironically. So messing with the validity of an election process, even in an individual state, is probably not a good idea. Because I think the point of the movie Civil War was to tell us to try to avoid one. Right? Did you see that one?
Right. Yeah.
So the guy, he's not actually a soldier, I guess, but the redheaded guy with the gun that asks the people what kind of Americans they are. Have you,
I'm not.
that's the same actor that played the guy that donated his heart to Dick Cheney after getting hit by a bus. It's funny how that works.
That is funny how that works.
But I think the point of that film was, hey, don't do a civil war. It's not a good idea. Also interesting enough, though, in the movie Civil War, I believe California and Texas joined together.
Interesting.
Which is interesting, but also maybe two of the only states that could do that, considering their size and whatnot. The move by a 3-judge panel dealt a blow to efforts by Texas Republicans and President Trump to flip Democrat seats in the Senate, where Marjorie Taylor Greene's probably trying to go. Trump, blah, blah. Oh, this is a different story. So, we still have a lot of time for them to figure all that out, but the real battle is for the midterms, right? Midterms are next year, I guess, or the campaigns start therein. And, they're trying to stack the deck. Especially a lot of it coincided with, Trump sending the National Guard and the Marines and whatnot to various places where, these often blue cities were like, we didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for a military occupation of our cities. And that's when a lot of this started. Because interestingly, I don't like Gavin Newsom either.
Yeah.
Kind of obnoxious. Acts like he grew up poor. Pretends to know something about basketball. Lives on a vineyard. I just don't think the optics are good to live on a vineyard. I'm the governor and I live on a vineyard.
Yeah.
Like, I understand needing the Napa Valley vote, but living on a vineyard seems decadent.
Yeah.
And as something one should avoid in this case. The other thing with him is he revealed, and I don't know if this is 100% true, that California is a net payer of taxes. So in the case that Trump wants to occupy cities with the Marines and the National Guard and ICE, that's the one I left out earlier. ICE is all over California. Gavin Newsom's thing was, well, if this is going to be the problem, we could just keep our $80 billion that we send the federal government every year and spend it in California, right? I think it's $80 billion.
Yeah.
Because $80 million would be too low.
Yeah, it's too low.
Yeah.
We're dealing in billions now.
We're dealing in billions. That's inflation, bitch. Oh, God. And then it's only gotten goofier from here. Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, visited the White House this week. U.S. intelligence found at one time that Mohammed bin Salman could have directly ordered the execution of Jamal Khashoggi, who was a journalist who was lured into an embassy and then dismembered alive on camera.
Insane.
Which is not okay. He also, I believe, is a relative of another Khashoggi who is all over the Whitney Webb books, who was a arms dealer, an international arms dealer with close ties to Roy Cohn and Jeffrey Epstein. So, which doesn't mean his cousin deserved to be dismembered on camera. But then the world knows you did that, and then you just show up to the White House to hang out. I don't know why these meetings have to be in person.
Yeah.
Why does Mohammed bin Salman have to come to the White House to do a press conference? It seems weird. And then, Trump's often not cool with the media, especially, female members of the media. But it was a lady who asked Mohammed bin Salman, it was actually really ballsy of her, I would never have the balls, to ask about basically like, what do you have to say to people that are critical of, the accusations that you captured and executed a journalist for being a journalist? You know what I mean? It wasn't like the journalist was a criminal.
Right.
And Trump got in her face, was all mad about that. And then later he called another woman a piggy on a plane. He said, quiet piggy. And trivia this week, I've had multiple teams named Quiet Piggy.
Oh, my God.
But they pivoted. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman called Jamal Khashoggi's killing painful for his country after pledging nearly $1 trillion in investments to the U.S., which if anyone could actually, usually when people say numbers, they're fake. But if I believe anyone could just drop off $1 trillion in cash, it would be the Saudi royal family. I think that reporter even asked him about 9/11 because of Saudi Arabia's alleged aiding and abetting of the would-be hijackers. So it's a mess. It's hard to even know how much of any of this to talk about because by the time this comes out, there's going to be more developments. And by the time we sit down again, all this stuff could be totally different. Who even knows? I mean, at the rate we're moving since the Epstein emails dropped a couple weeks ago, who even knows who's going to be in office next week?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's moving that quickly for the first time ever. The Age of Disclosure film also is sort of, I think, an accelerant. People have been holding their breath for a long time to see how much was going to be in there. But it really seems like it's going to be a starting point for this next wave of the disclosure movement, which began in 2017 with David Grush testifying before Congress, which is the first time anyone really seriously had a conversation about this topic that way. Other countries, I learned in the film, don't have this stigma. For example, the Navy was noticing that they were reporting UFO and UAP sightings, and we moved to UAP because a lot of the Navy reports indicate these things can come from space to air to water with really not losing any speed or making much noise. The film gets into how that might be possible. But also, the Navy's noticed that they have collected reports of this phenomenon in spaces they share with the United States Air Force, but the United States Air Force contributes the lowest number of reports to this conversation, which means there's a massive stigma where people in the Air Force will try to report something and told not to, or they'll report something and they're immediately forced to sign a bunch of NDAs. So the reports never make it to any of these public conversations. And if you look at the swirling, it's like a double helix of destabilization. It's like two tornadoes wrapping in on each other. That the veil is coming off on a lot of this stuff. We know between everything we've learned in even just the last year about APAC, about secret government programs that we still don't have transparency on, compromised politicians and law enforcement professionals, federal employees, whether it be for specific financial interest or blackmail from indiscretions that they were probably baited into. The whole thing is a mess.
Yeah.
The country of Turkey has issued an arrest warrant for Benjamin Netanyahu, the acting prime minister of Israel. So it just seems like what's remaining of this elderly generation of megalomaniacs that hold power internationally, a lot of them are in trouble. And certainly public opinion of them is way down. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. But it is going to get something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You smell me, bruh?
I smell you.
I guess I'm glad I abandoned all that recreational boating I wanted to do in the Caribbean. They still are blowing up fishing boats outside of Venezuela, boats that would have to refuel 20 times to make it to America with fentanyl, if that's even what they were doing. We're just blowing them up, no due process, and we're sharing the videos on TikTok from the official White House account.
Insane.
I was really thinking about next summer going fly fishing in Belize. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, because if I get a Hellfire missile in my face when I'm fly fishing in Belize on my birthday,
in front of my salad? Have you seen that? It's like a
in front of my salad.
it's like a gay porn meme where these two guys are going at it, but like behind this like breakfast bar in a kitchen, and this woman's eating a salad on the other side, and she finds out that they're copulating, and she's like in front of my salad
because they're like doing
while
it
I'm
in
eating
secret,
they're
like
doing
where
it in
they
secret.
it happens in this a lot. Yeah.
And she's like in front of my salad.
Yeah. I was revisiting some of the clips I hadn't posted of our interview with the great Taylor Gunner. And some of those clips I can't post just because of the nature of some of the stuff we were talking about.
Yep.
Some of them I just didn't post yet. And revisiting, there's like short form vertical content of pornography now. I think on the hub they call it shorties. And
It's all cum shots.
no,
I'm just kidding.
but
It's just like
yeah, but that's what it seems like. If it was Vine, that's exactly what it would be. What would you call it if it was 7? If each video could only be 7 seconds, it was
7
all dirty.
seconds, yeah.
Instead
I
of
don't know.
Vine, it would be slime. No, that's not good.
cum time.
Come-
It would be,
It's 2 words.
Cummy. It'd be
Shooters.
shooters. Yeah.
Shooters is good. Don't take that idea. We're bringing Vine back. It's all what now?
Shooters.
No, we're
No.
gonna call it that
Oh,
because the videos are all
that's all 7 minutes. Sorry. 7 seconds.
7 minutes. That's
No.
longer than most of the full length shit I watch. What are you talking? 7 minutes.
7 seconds.
What am I going to do for 6 minutes?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's with me? Who's with me, folks? In other news, a judge has ruled that Facebook does not have a monopoly on social media, which means it's going to get worse before it gets better. Facebook is already such a problem. There's all these pages that you have to see now, even if you don't follow them, because they
Yeah.
think you want to follow them.
Yeah.
And then they'll be full of AI posts, which is like, who's better, the white stripes or the black keys? But the picture for the black keys isn't even a guy from the Black Keys. I saw that today. It was Jesse from hold on. It said, who's better, Jack White or Dan Auerbach? But the picture of Dan Auerbach was Jesse from Eagles of Death Metal. I'm like, I know for a fact that's not Dan Auerbach.
Yeah.
I've seen both of those dudes up close. And it's just constant now. Since I posted those clips about the White Stripes going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I've been getting tons of just like, you might like this page called like Guitar Boopers.
Yeah.
And it's like, just here's a picture of one guy, here's a picture of another guy. Just choose which like react you like to vote for one.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a known format. But these are all AI generated posts. The pages themselves may be AI generated.
Yeah.
So Facebook is the first place we're going to abandon to let the robots sell advertising minutes to themselves.
Yeah.
And then because Facebook doesn't have an official monopoly in the eyes of the federal government, they're going to go ahead and grow that monopoly while they can until a different administration or a different court challenges them on it, which means more of that is going to happen. It's going to be even less boomer pet obituaries and more AI slop bot farm content, which I also think could also totally happen like in the music industry. Rick Beato, or Beato, I don't know how to say his name, famous producer, guitarist, has a YouTube channel that's really successful. He's always having problems, though, because he wants to talk about music, and he gets flagged all the time for stuff that should be fair use, but with the frequency at which he's talking about A-list content, I can see how the algorithms that do, like, UMG and whatnot, would still flag that stuff. But he was talking about, there's a headline going around that there's a #1 country song that's made by AI. However, #1 is misleading because #1 where is the question. And the only place this song is #1 is on the digital sales chart, which means people that actually pay for just the song on iTunes, or I think you could still do that on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Which is a tiny number of people. To be #1, Rick Beato explains, on the digital sales chart, like this AI country song is, you only have to sell like 5,000 copies of the song.
Yeah.
Because that's how few people pay for individual songs on the internet right now that we're in the streaming age. So here's really what happened. This is the thing, maybe there's a real person involved. I'm arguing there does not have to be. But one person used AI to make a country song and then published it, distributed it via like DistroKid, like we do.
Yeah.
Or whatever. TuneCore, maybe, if they're stupid. And then you just need $5,000 to hit the top of the the digital sales chart. To be number one on the digital sales chart, you only need to sell between 3,500 and 5,500 copies. So you could do that also with AI or like Pakistani bot farms where they have hundreds of accounts, because maybe that would be the challenge. You're thinking, well, you can't just buy it 5,000 times.
Yeah.
As one person, you would need 5,000 accounts. But we know how easy that is, because in the great podcast wars of the last couple of years, it's all these millionaires figuring out, oh, we could pay people in Bangladesh to click on all of our stuff all day. So we win things, right?
Yeah.
Exact same thing's happening with this AI country song. But it's not even charting on like Billboard, right? Which is an eclectic, like the Hot 100, for example, is usually the one you're thinking of, right? If you're truly a number one, you're number one on probably the Billboard Hot 100. That's the one people really care about. It's like the top of the top.
Yeah.
So you're not even breaking into that market. You're spending $5,000 and probably 5 days clicking resubmit on Suno or whatever it's called to make the AI song. And you got to do all that front loading. That's why we don't bot farm on purpose, at least for this show, is because I have to like send somebody money and then I have to make sure they're doing it, and I have to like help out or tell them what I want. And the issue Rick Beto has is also then that article could have been written by AI.
Yeah.
Calling that song number one, right? It probably was. And then distributed by all these AI bot farm Facebook pages and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's a microcosm of what could happen to not just the music industry, but all of the internet, where a robot can decide, okay, my goal is to elicit follows and engagement. Let me make a song. Let me publish the song. Let me buy enough of that song that people think real people are buying the song. And then let me write an article about how my song is number one, even though I know it's not actually, right? Yeah. However, right now they're suggesting that maybe the song was initiated by one person. Yeah. I would not be surprised at all if Rick came out tomorrow on YouTube and said, we have discovered that the phenomenon of the AI country song hitting number one on the chart and everything that happened afterwards originated with a bot. So what I'm saying is, book a show at the Heavy Anchor and tune your guitar and do it yourself and drink a beer and, maybe kiss somebody on the face and then take an Uber home. I am going to lead with that. Take an Uber home. Because I want you to get drunk enough to enjoy that experience, but I don't want you to be unsafe. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
How are we on time?
58:47.
God damn it, I'm good. I mean, is this airtight or what?
Airtight.
Airtight. Bluewood, where I host trivia every week, at least once, has a new chili they've been having on special. And so I had big cauldrons of chili 2 days in a row this week. So I'm not airtight physically.
Yeah.
Physically, there's a lot of air getting out.
Good.
But I was more so referring to the show.
Yeah.
And how the
your
show is going.
operations are airtight.
And I was working on these notes really hard all week to make sure we covered all of this stuff. And you got to stay tuned, because we got to know what's coming next and how we're gonna protect ourselves. And I'm just checking on some of these headlines in a more contemporary way to make sure we're not leaving anything out. Here's your homework. You're gonna go listen to Relics by Jacob V. You're gonna watch the video. You're going to go listen to the new remaster of Around the World in a Day by Prince and the Revolution. You should try to use your mom's debit card to buy The Age of Disclosure if you're interested in that topic at all on Amazon. I see a lot of people, though, say groceries are so expensive they could give a shit if an alien moved into their house. You know what I mean? And I get that, because I think that's also part of it. Maybe you should start a garden. Right now it would be a winter garden. You could do squash, some forms of potatoes. You do any gardening?
I don't. No, I do not. I do a lot of...
What have you been doing at the gym? I'm not insinuating that you should be gardening at the gym.
No, but we were talking about this earlier, the gym. I've been doing weights. I've been lifting weights. We're doing machines right now.
My wife noticed I'm starting to get what we're calling a baby muscle, right? My bicep, because the car seat is getting so heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is so.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
You're getting pumped and you don't even know
I'm
it.
just pumping.
Yeah.
Just pumping, baby.
Yeah.
So, that's good. Yeah, my brother, I don't know if he's going to the gym. He broke his foot.
Oh,
He was supposed to be here today, but I would have had to pick him up. And it's just a whole thing. Because he can't even drive right now. Because he's got a boot on his right foot.
Oh, that's too bad. He just had a birthday, too.
He just had a birthday. And then he broke his foot like that next Monday or something. And he's out of work probably through Christmas. And
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how much of the gym he can even really do.
Yeah. You could do arms, probably.
He could. Oh yeah, he's going to do a lot of arms.
Yeah.
He's going to look like Johnny Bravo by the time this thing is all over. He's going to be a perfect triangle.
Yeah.
Other things. Follow us on all your platforms. If you go to my link tree at any point, you'll be able to see all of the different socials where all of the clips from the podcast go. You'll be able to see some of the stuff we use for trivia every week. If you're local and you want to come by, it's the hottest trivia game in town. It's all decorated for Christmas right now. We have one of our biggest games of all time this week. It's a really good time. JacobV.com. You can find all of that stuff. I think that's about it. Save a Life for 9. This won't be out in time, but you're performing tonight. We don't want to talk about that at all.
Oh, we can.
Is it top secret? I was telling my wife about it.
It's definitely not top secret. It is sold out, though.
Oh,
I just found out that it was sold out.
So I don't have to feel bad if I decide I can't go.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm performing drag tonight at Stank Williams at Prism. It's ladies' night, so we're doing female artists. And since it won't be out, I'll just tell you the ones that I'm doing. I'm doing Shania Twain's Man, I Feel Like a Woman and This Kiss by Faith Hill.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This Kiss was by Faith Hill was one of like my earliest insights into like something sexy. Because I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Right, when that came out. But my mom had that album. And I remember her singing in that song because it's like a pop song, right? Where
yeah, it's pop country.
She's not even too twangy, really.
No.
I really like Faith Hill. But that song is like, it's not right. It's not fair what you're missing over there. And I'm like, oh my God, they're fucking. I remember being a little kid.
Oh no, that's who I love the way. No, This Kiss is
Love the
this
way.
kiss, this
Kiss.
kiss.
Oh, is it the same artist though?
Unsinkable. Yeah, it's the same artist.
Okay.
Same album probably.
Same album, I
Yeah.
bet. But so what was the one I was talking about? The Way You Love Me.
The Way You Love Me.
The Way You Love Me is sexy. And I
Yeah.
remember being a little kid. I could have been like 10 years old. And thinking like, oh, she's fucking that guy.
Yeah.
This song's about how she wants that guy to see how good he's fucking her. And which is not how I usually talk or think, but that's the sexual energy in that song.
Yeah, This Kiss is more like is bubbly, romantic.
It's more bubbly.
And
It's more bubbly.
It's,
Yeah.
It's smitten.
Smitten.
Yeah. So very
Faith
excited
Hill,
for it.
shout out.
Shout out to Faith
and I
Hill.
love Shania Twain. And you know,
Shania
Shania
Twain.
Twain, that song was produced by her ex-husband, Mutt Lange,
Yes.
who did Def Leppard and AC/DC's Back in Black.
A very well-known,
He did You and I by Lady Gaga.
Did he really?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He's a hideous creature, though. He looks like a demon. He's like overexposed.
That's why they call him Mutt.
He's so pale. Like in every photo of him I've ever seen, he looks overexposed.
You know, I think we have had a conversation about
We
this. 'Cause
talked
I remember
about this.
like looking it up.
Yeah, because we did a segment on Mutt Lange.
Shania Twain, it's so hard
because I realized he had done all this different stuff.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick a Shania Twain song. I had to go with the OG. But
Mine
there's
is
so many that I would love.
Yeah, that Man, I Feel Like a Woman is what you're doing.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
because it's ladies' night. and
Classic.
it's the first one I'm doing.
Classic.
Yeah.
But I prefer Honey, I'm Home. Do you remember that one?
Oh, honey,
I remember being on a speedboat in Lake of the Ozarks with my father,
Yeah.
my parents really, and then two of their friends, and that album was new, and they were all singing that song, and we're like on a boat in the summertime,
Yeah.
and I was like, I didn't realize it at the time. That was probably peak society.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer. I like.
Think about where you were that summer that Shania Twain album came out, and tell me if your life has gotten better or worse.
You know what?
Not you specifically. I trust you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my Shania, if I would have picked a different one, it would have been Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under?
Whose bed have your boots been under?
Or That Doesn't impress me much.
That don't impress me much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're Brad Pitt.
I don't imprison me.
And the outfit, that was the most iconic outfit. She's wearing that that leopard trench.
Yeah.
With the
I think it's a full catsuit with a trench with a leopard trench coat.
And maybe a tail even. Did it have a tail on it?
No.
Or she had a bag.
She had a bag.
Matching bag.
I think it was like a cape. I don't think it was, or was it a coat? I don't know.
Sound off in the comments. Was it a cape or was it a trench? We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.